Okay everybody, this is Freddie Mac and I'm here to talk to you today about SkywarnPlus. And we're going to add it on to our AllStar node that we've been building through the video series. SkywarnPlus was developed by Mason Nelson. He goes by Mason10198 on GitHub. You can get there to github.com/Mason10198. And right at the top, his most popular repository is SkywarnPlus, which is for AllStar link. And if you click on it, it will take you to the SkywarnPlus repository page. And there's a list of files here, and you can come on down to the README. And there's his logo, README SkywarnPlus, and it's pretty stinking cool. And a summary of everything that SkywarnPlus does. And it says SkywarnPlus is an advanced software solution tailored for *app_RPT nodes. It is designed to provide important information about local government issued alerts, thereby broadening the scope and functionality of your node. By intelligently integrating local alert data, SkywarnPlus brings a new layer of relevance and utility to your existing system. SkywarnPlus works with all major distributions including AllStar Link, HamVoip, myGMRS, and more. Here are some of its key features. Real-time weather alerts. The software checks the NWS CAP API for live weather alerts for user-defined areas. It also has unlimited area and node numbers. Users can define as many areas and local node numbers as desired. So if you want to cover your county, like mine, Okmulgee County, Oklahoma, but I also wanted to cover Stone County, Missouri, I could throw that code in as well and get those alerts. It also has automatic announcements. Weather alerts, including when all warnings have been cleared, are announced automatically on the node. Tail message creation. The software generates tail messages for the node to continuously inform listeners about active alerts after the initial broadcast. Dynamic changes to the node. Courtesy tones and node CW/voice ID automatically change according to user-defined alerts, optimizing communication during severe weather. That's one we've got to try out for sure. Human speech. Announcements are delivered in a natural human speech for easier understanding. Efficiency and speed. SkywarnPlus is optimized for speed and efficiency to provide real-time information without delay. Preserves hardware. SkywarnPlus limits input-output to the physical disk, preventing SD card burnout in Raspberry Pi devices. That's a big one, folks. A very big one. Remote control. Functions can be mapped to DTMF commands to remote over-the-air control. Detailed alert descriptions. In addition to standard alert announcements, SkywarnPlus includes SkyDescribe, a feature for announcing detailed NWS-provided descriptions of alert details. It's highly customizable. SkywarnPlus is extremely customizable, offering advanced filtering parameters to block certain alerts or types of alerts from different functions. Users can even map DTMF macros or shell commands to specified weather alerts, expanding the software's capabilities according to user needs. Pushover integration. This is a nice one. With pushover integration, SkywarnPlus can send weather alert notifications directly to your phone or other devices. You have to create a free account with pushover after you put the app on your phone and transfer that API and your user key into your config.yam file. It's actually pretty straightforward. It only makes it look a little daunting, but if I can do it, haha, you can do it. Fault tolerance. In the event that SkywarnPlus is unable to access the internet for alert updates during a severe storm, it will continue to function using alert data it has stored from the last successful data update, using the estimated expiration time provided by the National Weather Service to determine when to automatically clear alerts. There's no need to worry about your node locking up with stale alerts. Whether you wish to auto-link to a SkywarnNet during severe weather, program your node to control an external device like a siren during a tornado warning, or simply want to stay updated on changing weather conditions, SkywarnPlus offers a comprehensive, efficient, and customizable solution for your weather alert needs. Check out his GitHub page here about it, and we'll tell you everything you need to know. And here's the install. It'll also work on the ASL version of AllStar and the HamVoip version of AllStar and myGMRS, which is like the GMRS world of AllStar. Nonetheless, let's get started with the install. Today we're going to cover adding on a new Skywarn add-on for HamVoip AllStar. There's also a version out there for the ASL version of AllStar, and it's called SkywarnPlus. It was written by N5LSN Mason A. Nelson out of Arkansas, and he has the install instructions on his github.com/mason10198/SkywarnPlus, and if you scroll down far enough, you will see the install instructions, which is what we will jump right into. We're not going to do the Debian, that would be for ASL. We're going to do the Arch HamVoip install, where the first command starts with pacman. So let's switch over here to our node. We've SSH'd into our AllStar node. We're going to go down to option 9 and get into our bash shell session into our local AllStar node. I like to go straight to the root directory, and let's jump over here and grab our first command. And basically it wants us to install ffmpeg. Copy that, and we'll paste it in there, hit enter, and it's basically the defaults on all these. Hit yes. Now once it's done, you'll see that we've got our command prompt back, and we're ready to move on to the next step. The next step is the wget. Hit enter, and we'll let it run through that real quick. Okay, we've ran the wget, and we're going to just clear the screen, get our next command, which is to install Python from the looks of things, or a version add-on there of it. Paste that in, hit enter, and we'll let that run. Once that's finished, we're going to go back to our commands, and we're going to install pyaml. Let's copy that, paste it in, let that run. And that was successful, so we're just going to clear the screen again. Grab the next command, and it looks like we're going to install this one as well. Alright. Now we've got to change our directory over to the user local bin. And we're there. And now we've got to get SkywarnPlus from Mason's GitHub repository. now I'm pretty sure we're going to unzip it. And we're going to clear the screen again. And we're going to do a remove of the zip file. This kind of just gets the extra files out of the way. And then hit yes. And the extra files are out of the way. And now we've got to change our directory to SkywarnPlus. And run this little zippy command right here. Kind of makes things some executables. And it's pretty quick. So now we're already prepared, and now we can configure or edit our config file rather. And that config file is called config.yaml, and I have a bad tendency to call it a YAML file. I don't know the proper pronunciation if it has one, but nonetheless, there it is, and we shall edit it. Alright, now, there are several things that you can do inside of SkywarnPlus. We are going to cover the basics in this video, and then we'll come back and cover the other features, as I call them, because it is loaded with a few features. But the first thing we want to do is come down here to the asterisk stanza, where it says nodes, and it says your underscore node underscore number. We're going to take all that out. We're going to leave the dash and one space, and we're going to put in our node number. And I believe this one is 576333. And then we're going to come down here to county codes, where it says your underscore county underscore code. I'm going to take all that out, leaving the dash and one space. And you would normally go to alerts.weather.gov to find out what your county code is. You'll drill down from your state and then to your county. It just so happens that Okmulgee County's code is in my head because it is OKC 111. Okmulgee County is where I live. And in case you were wondering, it's named from an old Alabama Indian town from the Muskogee Creek Indians. That means bubbling water. Ironically enough, in Alabama, no, Georgia. In Georgia, there is a river named the Okmulgee River. It's spelled a little bit different, but that's where the name came from. Georgia, Alabama areas where the Muskogee Creek tribe came from. Not that you cared, but now you know. This prompts me to refer you to my Okie Archaeology website to learn about small town history. That website is okie-adventure.com. Now, after we've set in our node number and our county code, there are other things that we can do, but the defaults right now will do us fine. But I'm just going to thumb through here and show you some of the stuff. There's changes that you can make to alerting. There's the blocking. There's things that you can block that you don't want to hear alerts on. This is mainly designed to give you a audible alert through your AllStar node for Skywarn purposes. For the National Weather Service issues any kind of special weather statement or flood warning, flood watch, thunderstorm warning, tornado warnings, tornado watches, it will announce that in a human voice. Don't get me wrong, Auto Skywarn is very, very nice, but it's a computer generated voice. This one has an actual human voice, and it's very understandable. And also, you can add your alerts to tail messages, and you can also have it change your courtesy tones when there are alerts on. It will change them back to the default when they go off. You can change the ID for those alerts. And there's this little feature called Sky Describe. And with this feature, you can toggle it via DTMF and have it read out the entire weather alert issued by the National Weather Service, and it will be in a computer-generated voice, I believe. But it's much more realistic sounding because they use an API from voicerss.org. We'll get to that in another video. Meanwhile, we're going to exit this config file, Control X, yes to save, and enter to exit. And now our node is configured, but we need to test it. But before we test it, we've got to enter a cron tab entry so that the add-on knows to go out to the internet and check to see if there are any alerts. So we're going to go back to here, we're going to clear things out to get things unmuddled, and we're going to go cron tab space -e. Well, first we're going to spell it right. Cron cron tab space -e, hit enter, and there's our cron tab file. I'm going to come down to the first available line, hit Command V if you're on a Mac, or however else you paste, or just type in the line. Now, there is a built-in feature into AllStar on this second line that is not commented out. If you come all the way down here where it says saytime.pl, right before the, if you put your cursor on the $, you can type in your zip codes. Mine is 74437. Hit a space so that there's a space on either side of your zip code. And what this does, every hour, at the top of every hour, when your AllStar node announces the time, it will give you weather conditions for your area, for your zip code. It's a neat little feature that's kind of handy. Now we've got our cron tab entry in there. We're going to hit Control X, yes to save, and enter to exit. And now, I believe we're all configured. There are other tail messages, courtesy tones, and IDs, which we will cover in other videos, but we're going to reboot this node and see what it sounds like upon reboot. So let's type in exit, and we're going to come down here to reboot this system. Hit reboot, and we'll see what happens. Now our SSH client will liably disconnect, but our radio is here nearby the microphone.
IP address 192.168.1.205.
And within a few minutes, we should get an alert. Or maybe a minute. Or at least a status alert. Maybe not. We'll give it a few minutes and see what happens. But you can tell here the weather conditions for Crusader Castle, which is right here in Henrietta. Display right here in your Supermon. Your local conditions, it's 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius, and it's partly sunny. So let's go back to our SSH session. And reconnect. Go to number 9. And we will try to force there's a couple of things that we can do to force an alert for testing purposes. So we're going to go back to the config.yaml. We're going to nano config.yaml, and we're going to scroll all the way down here to the dev stanza for like developers. But you can inject an alert, and the two alerts that it injects is tornado warning, tornado watch, and severe thunderstorm. So I guess it's 3. I only remembered it as being 2, but they've had updates since the last one I installed, so maybe they changed something. Mason's pretty good at this stuff. So we're going to change inject to true. Hit Control X, yes to save, enter to exit. And I think we may have to trigger it. It may trigger itself. I don't want to try to toggle it on because I think it should be already enabled. So we're going to try this inject first. No, maybe it is. Maybe we've got to try the enable.
Updated local information. Tornado warning. Tornado watch. Severe thunderstorm warning.
So there's the injected alerts that we put in the config.yaml. So let's go look at our Supermon page and see if it changed anything there. I don't know if I have that enabled in this. I do, because there you see it on our Supermon page. Tornado warning, tornado watch, and severe thunderstorm warning. Those are the injected alerts that we put in the config file. So let's go back. Let's change our nano.config.yaml. We'll go into that and we'll go back down to the dev stanza and we'll turn that inject off because we now know that it's working. All right, we're down to the dev stanza again and we're going to come up here to inject. I'm going to take out the word true, leave a space between inject colon and then space, and we're going to type in false. Control X, yes to save, enter to exit, and we're done. And we have updated our AllStar node with SkywarnPlus in the basic setting. Every time you reboot, it will re-enable, and when an alert is issued for your county, it will sound it out verbally over your node. It's pretty awesome stuff. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos.
The National Weather Service has cleared all alerts for this area.
And that's the alert that you get once your alerts have all cleared. We should have waited for that, huh? We'll cover the other features of SkywarnPlus in some future videos, but I wanted you all to be aware of this. Don't get me wrong, like I said, Auto Skywarn is nice, and I like it. But SkywarnPlus has a few added features that have a more realistic human sound and voice. But let's just give it a try and we'll see how it goes. All right. I want to thank y'all for watching this video, and I wish the good signals out there to be yours. And 7-3s. This is K85FMU signing off. Ham on, y'all.